G'day everyone, Gareth here from Organic Growing Melbourne. Today I thought I'd do a video on, well, how to set up a worm farm. I've already got 2 worm farms, as most of you already know, but eventually what happens is you get inundated with worms and it gets overcrowded, and as you can see, you just tip it over and there's tens of thousands of worms in this worm farm, and it just gets too crowded. Sometimes you lift it up and you can actually see all the vegetables moving, but you just got to turn one over, and both of them overcrowded. So I'm going to set up another worm farm, and I take some worms out of both of these and put them in here. If you're just starting out, you can purchase worms from Bunnings, which is where I got this one. This is the tumbleweed. I'd recommend this one. This is a really easy setup. There are some awesome setups out there but cost a fortune, and if you're just starting out with trying to make your own worm tea, I would highly recommend one of these. That's what that one is. That other one's an old type that I just bought off Facebook for like 20 bucks or something. But overcrowded, time to get another one. So I'm going to show you how we set this up. There we go. In this box we have 4 legs, which easily clip on. Instructions. One koi block. So it's like a coconut peat or whatever, I'm not too sure. I've never used one of these. But it's the bedding for the worms. That goes on the bottom. And your tap. So the first thing we'll do, that's strange. There's the bottom one. The bottom one was not at the bottom. Alright, what I might do is chuck this on a tripod, and it'd be a lot easier then. Alright guys, we'll get these legs on. It's really basic. They literally clip on like that. They just push on. Hopefully I've got that in frame then. See if I get this one in frame. So, corner there. Slide it. They just hit the end and you're on. I'll show you with all 4. Slide it on. Hit the end. Slide it on. And they're on. There, your 4 legs. Alright, now we'll put the tap on. Just here. Here's the tap. Just unscrew this plastic nut. It's already got a seal on it. You just thread that through here. Alright guys, when putting this plastic nut on, make sure this end goes down into where you're screwing it onto, and then you put the sides of it of the nut onto this, and then you tighten up the tap on the outside. And not too tight, otherwise you'll ruin the plastic thread. The good thing about this worm farm is it's got this area here where everything will flow into, so it empties really well. And I don't really seem to get any blockages with this one either. Okay, so now we've put this on, we'll put the next level on. It's as simple as that. Bang. There it is. That's it. Now we've got that level on. Now, what we want to do is grab this cord block. Sorry, it's just started raining and there might be a bit of background noise here. So we just undo this. And also, if you've got an existing worm farm, maybe you've picked the second-hand one up and you need one of these beddings, don't go to the area that sell the worm farms, because they'll sell you these for like 16 bucks a block. You can go around to the garden area and they'll sell ones twice this size for 6 bucks. So, and make sure you get the fine core block, because there are different ones. There's ones that are more like mulch. Alright, that is our block. The next step, I thought I had my hose up here. Hang on, let's go out in the rain. Alright. Next step is to wet it. Now my wheelbarrow has a hole in it. So what I'm going to do is put it in a bucket. I'll fill this up. Well, I won't fill it. I'm going to put enough water in here to cover that. That'll do. I'm going to plonk this in. You watch it expand. So this, what we're making here, is the worm bedding. Alright. And they'll still eat all this too. But this is going to be, this will be where the worms will migrate down to when it's too hot. So you can see that we've got this nice clean bedding. Now, honestly, I don't think this is going to be enough. I think from memory, it wasn't high enough. I added stuff. So what I might do is grab, well, I'll put this in, see what it comes up to, because you can see the next tray is going to hit onto here. It'll actually go a little bit lower than that, I believe. But you want the bedding to be able to touch the bottom of that so the worms can get through those holes. So I'll pour this in, we'll have a look what it's like. And as you can see, we put this worm bedding in, and this is where we're going to put our worms. And there's no way that the next layer, we'll have a look, push it down as far as it goes, lift it back up, nothing's touched it. So what I've got here, I've got a pot here that's got some really old potting mix in it. Alright, so I've put a bit of that old potting mix. I wouldn't use a fresh potting mix. A fresh potting mix is going to have some fertilisers in it. So now when this layer goes on, it's touching. You can actually see the bedding underneath. You can see it's touched it. You don't want to compact that because the worms like a bit of aeration. Okay, now, next thing, your veggie scraps. And I'm going to go in and get some because I will transfer some of the veggies from these into here as well. But I'll go get, what we'll do first is collect the worms, okay, and we'll chuck them in that bedding. And also, when that next tray's on and the veggies break down, obviously the castings will go into there and put castings on top of that as well. So let's get a few handful of worms. Let's dig these up. Oh, it's warm in there. So there's a handful. See, get some more. Some more. They'll break all this stuff down as well. So I've got a couple of handfuls out of that one. And then we'll get, there's always heaps in this one, look. Look at that. Oh, I can feel them all moving in my hand. And we'll get one more handful out of this one. Look at that. They'll breed in there, they'll multiply. If you're buying eggs, if you're going to be buying eggs, allow, because you can buy eggs as well, allow a couple of months for them to start hatching and breeding. But I've probably put a 500 plus worms into here, so I'm going to put this next layer on now. You can see, I can see it's all touching underneath, so the worms will be able to migrate into this one. I'll just go get some compost. So here we have the compost from the food scraps from inside, and this is as simple as, so we got potato peel, eggshells, watermelon, strawberry, mango skin, coleslaw, tea bags, lettuce, so on and so on. And we'll continue to put this in. We'll continue to fill that up a couple of times. I'll get some compost out of these bins as well and put it in there as well, which will have some more worms in it as well. 500 worms is a pretty good number. So I'll just get some of this. There's a lot of compost in this one. Let's just add. Now people say to break up. Oh, look at all those worms in that. Ooh. And then I'll get another handful of that out of here. And then I'll get some more out of the other one. The other one doesn't have as much in it. But I'll just get one more handful out of here. And that, look at all these worms. So they'll feast on this. And that is how you set up a worm farm. Now I would soak them in a bit. So we'll get the hose. Where have I put it? Here it is. Put that on shower. Oh, sprayed myself in the head. I'll just spray this in a bit. Get it nice and wet for them. That'll do. That'll all soak in through the bedding. Taps on. Whoops. I'll just turn that off to start off with, but you always have that tap on. Never close it. All these are open. Never ever close it, otherwise if you forget about it and it starts filling up with juice and it gets to the next bed, you start drowning them. And I know you're wondering, why haven't you put the next level on? Well, I don't need to yet. Until this is all broken down, that's when I can put the next level on, and then I start putting fresh vegetables in the top one, and then once, after a few months, that bottom level would just about be, it's not 100% worm castings, let's say about 90% worm castings, and you can either harvest it and use it on your vegetable gardens, well, on anything, or what I do is I mix it in if I'm doing some potting and refurbishing a veggie patch or something. But I use it mainly for the worm tea, which I've done a video on that before. So yeah, go back and have a look at that one, and it shows you how I make the worm tea. But that is the basic worm farm from Tumbleweed. And with this tray that's not being used yet, I still put it on the top there. Put it on there. Put the lid on. And you're done. Number 3. That'll squeeze into this messy area here. And we'll start, gonna have to lift it up a bit. The legs aren't high enough for these buckets I've got. Be great if they were another, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches higher. That's a worm farm. I hope that helps. I get a lot of people actually on Facebook asking about worm farming and worm tea, so this might help you in buying when you purchase a new worm farm. That's pretty much it. Now you can buy like a Hessian bag to go over the top of your compost. I've never used them. If you've got them in a nice area under a pergola, there's no problem at all. Under a tree where it's nice and shady, as long as it's not in the direct sun, it should be fine, because if you put this in the direct sun, you're going to cook your worms. They'll migrate down to the bottom to try and get out of the heat, and then they'll just slowly cook down the bottom. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy. See you in the next video. Bye.